Hi everybody, it's me, Miss Mariah. I am videoing a step-by-step painting. I'm doing this because I work at the Allen County Public Library, and like a lot of libraries, like most libraries in the nation right now, are closed down due to the coronavirus outbreak. So we want to keep you guys connected. We want to stay connected with you. We want our community to stay strong. So we have started a YouTube channel, and we're going to bring you our programs via the internet. Although we'd much rather do it face to face, and we can't wait till the day that we get to see you guys again. We miss you all. Before I start, beginning of all my classes, I say the same thing. Your painting does not have to look just like mine. My painting doesn't look just like the one that I saw on Pinterest. I want it to be your painting, a painting that you'll be happy to hang in your house, a painting that you'll be happy, you know, giving it to Grandma for Mother's Day. You know, that's coming up. You might have to leave it on her porch, but you can still give it to her. So, you know, be relaxed, take your time, stop the video. When you're doing the video and you have questions, feel free to send me a message if you have any questions. I'm here, you know, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Before we get started, I'm going to apologize. I am a crazy cat lady. I got two of my own. Most of y'all have heard about Ronnie, but I'm fostering a cat right now, and when she's very vocal, but she's kind of hateful when she talks. So you might hear a little bit of, you know, growling and hissing, and it's her. She's coming here now. Okay, so let's get started. I found this painting on Pinterest, like I said. Our last painting class, some of us talked about what we'd like to do next, and a couple of you are like, hey, we haven't painted a flower in a long time, so let's do that. And I know that this is a popular thing right now, so let's try it. The original took me about an hour and a half, but of course, you know, I was up and down moving around in the house, so I'm only gonna make this about 30 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint the background, and I've already got one started because my first video cut off, and I was like, well, you know, maybe it was meant to be. So we're gonna do the background. I'm gonna show you how to draw your sunflower, or not sunflower, but your daisy on there, and because we're just going to do the outline. If you'll see right here, yeah, all I did was I just went in and I drew the petals out, and I did it on the paint was still a little tacky, so there was actually like a little groove in there. So be careful, if your lead is really sharp, it could puncture the canvas, or the groove could be really noticeable. So just with a light hand, but enough to where you can actually see it when you go to paint it, you know, draw out your petals. Like a lot of petals, like any flower you see, they aren't just, the petals aren't side by side. So like you'll see, let's see one, okay, like this one, you don't see it, this part of the petal coming down, because it's actually underneath this one. So like when I drew this petal, I started midway and then I drew this petal, okay? So it gives it that layer, that depth of an actual daisy. I'm gonna do this one, and I'll do this sprig of baby's breath, and we'll do the jar, and then you guys can finish it on your own. And like I said, if you need to ask any questions, crazy cats, just send me a message. Some of you have actually got my phone number. Shoot me a text, call, shoot me a text, because I'm weird about phone calls. We're all friends. We can all be honest. But anyway, no, if you need to call me, you call me. And so, you know, I'm going to get you started. I'm going to give you a good foothold, and then you can finish it on your own. And we would love for you to send your finished product, a picture of it, to the Allen County Library's Facebook Messenger. Send us those copies. If you have our email, you can send it to one of our emails, because we would love to post them and, you know, just keep this community strong and in touch with each other. Okay, so now we're going to turn to the painting, because that's the most important part, not me. Right here, kind of wrote out a little diagram. So for the background, these are the colors I used. I really love ocean green. Ocean green is so pretty. And the reason, like, I have like their technical name, like titanium white, these are the colors that we use at the library. I'm actually using the library's paint. Flowers, this is the colors we used in the flower. Then we got the stem, which is grass green, and I did a little highlight of white, and I'll show that to you. And then the jars, just black, white, and then I took two of the blues to kind of give it that depth that, you know, like it's, the glass is reflecting the color around it. So like in here you can see, go on, go now. Little blues, whites, little white, just kind of make it look like it's really glass. All right, and let me show you this too. When I start painting, I'll tell you, like, you know, you don't have to go all the way up, if, you know, if you feel nervous about it getting up in there. Because this is green and black that we're going to go around the eye of the daisy. And there's some gray. I'll show you how we achieved that. And I'm ready to get started. Here we go. So we're going to set this back here, and you're going to see me looking back to kind of reference that. Like most of y'all that know me know that I don't typically use an easel. I just hold it in my hand. Go kitty. And so I'm going to use the easel right now, just so that it'll be easier for you guys to see. All right, here we go. I've already got my paint, because of course I told you I've already started one. Got one of my favorite brushes here, right here. And then just kind of a flat, wide brush. We're going to start with our dark blue, and I'm just going to load that brush up. And we'll start up here at the corner. Just kind of get it in there. I'm just going back and forth, nothing major. Just filling all that in. I'm not going to do the edges because, I don't know, I just don't want to do the edges on this one. But you are more than welcome to do the edges. Some people just feel like it's more finished with the edges done. This one, it's so playful and fun that I don't think it needs it for myself. Like I said, I want you to do what feels comfortable to you and go from there. So you see, now I'm not cleaning my brush in between because I want these colors to blend together. So I took like the sky blue and I've come down and I've went in and I've actually come up and went a little bit over my darker blue. Got your medium blue. Just going over it right here. And then there's a little bit of speck of something. We'll just wipe that off on the plate. Just like that. And then I want this middle part to be lighter because that's where our flowers are going. So I've got that pretty ocean green. So I'm loading up my brush on it. And then I'm going right here. You see, and then I'm even, just do a little dab up there at the top. Just like that, okay? And when we get done, all I want you to do is just make sure that there's no white of the canvas showing through. And then this little splotch of white I've got here that's kind of got some blue mixed in. I'm going to put that in the middle. And if you see that it's a little too blue for you, you can clean your brush. See, I'll do that right now. I'll clean my brush. I got my handy dandy apron on, but I do actually have rag, but this is just so much easier. Just wipe it on my queen bee apron. And then I'm loading my paintbrush back up with the white. And then I'm going to go back over the middle part here. Because again, this middle section, I do want it a little lighter because that's where your flowers are. And they're white. Okay, so I'm just going to tip this canvas right over. And then I'm loading up my paintbrush again with the darker blue. And I'm going in this corner. And then I'm going to get, whoops, that medium blue. I dipped it in the lighter blue, but that's okay. And I just put some medium blue over top of it. It'll work nicely. Okay, so I got my blues. And then I've got this I didn't put it down here, but I will. This real pretty emerald green. I'm just going to put just a slash like that, and then I'll go back and mix it in. And then I'm going to put it here. And then get it all mixed in. Working from home is so great. You can hear all my crazy cats acting a fool. Yeah, she noticed I was not in the front part of the house, so she come looking for me, and now all she's doing is growling and hissing, and Ronnie's trying to ignore her, but she's not having it. She's a little needy. Okay, and I'm just gonna wipe it on the edge of my easel there. I'll clean it off in a minute. All right, so all I'm doing now, you see, is I'm just working the paint in. See, and I've got a little area here that is being a little hateful. So if you have an area like that and you like a more fluid, just dip your paintbrush a little bit in your water. See, it's running off a little bit. And you can loosen that paint up. Okay? So you can loosen that paint up and get it to flow a little better for you. See? Just like that. So, isn't that pretty? I kind of like these colors together. Okay, so I'm putting this in here. Set over there so I don't knock it over. That's all I need. Okay, so this would probably be a good time while you're watching the video just to pause it and go make you a cup of coffee or put the laundry in the washer to the dryer, or check on your kids and make sure they ain't ran off or killed each other. Because Lord knows their poor hearts, this is harder on them than, you know, anybody. We're adults. Even if we don't like it, we are like, well, we have to do it. But kids, it's just harder, you know. So I fanned the canvas a little bit, sort of like this part up here for the top. Okay, so what I did was, I got blue paint on my legs. Well, no, let's wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so I'm gonna take this round brush, mix it. Somebody's close to my house. The cats are growling. It's part of living in the city, I guess. Okay, so yeah, they're parked up there. They're probably walking through my yard, probably looking at my back window right now. So I'm taking this and I'm gonna make the stem of the first daisy. Yes, I haven't even painted my jar or anything. I'm going to make the stem. So I'm going to go up here kind of high because, as you remember, that first daisy was up kind of high. So I'm going to go up here and then I'm just going to make a line. And it's going into our imaginary jar. Okay? So I'm going to get on the tip of that pretty rounded paintbrush. Just like that. And then the second daisy, which is over here on the edge, I'm going to drop its stem into the imaginary jar. Okay, and then, remember that other daisy? She's over here and she's just kind of sad and kind of drooped down a little bit. So, right here, so I'm going to curve it and I'm going to drop it down into the jar. Okay? And there's the stems of our 3 daisies. And see, it's kind of broken up looking because the paint's still wet, but that's good. That's good for this painting because it's kind of a beachy, fun, whitewash kind of painting. Okay, so I'm gonna dip it in that dark grass green again, and when I say I'm patting it out, I'm just patting each side of my brush and making it flat. Okay. So let's see, we got a little sprig of baby's breath up here, so I'm dropping down. And then, I got a cat over in the window. And then I'm going to do the same over here, which is kind of, I should have loaded my brush up. So, okay, here's the fun part, boys and girls. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to try not to mess it up. See how steady my hand is. Which I'm going to highlight these stems anyway with a little white. So there we go. There's Daisy, baby's breath, Daisy, Daisy. And let's see. Let's give it one little sprig of baby's breath out the side here. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now, I'm going to switch over to the painting that I've already got started. So I'm going to put that in here because we're going to use that for my white. So we're just going to, I'll come back to that. I'll finish that and give that to a friend of mine. That's my canvas. You know, I don't have a mama or a grandma anymore, but I've got a sister, so. I got a sister and a sister-in-law, so I give one to one of them. Okay, so this is the one I had started when my phone said, your storage is full, delete a bunch of stuff. So, like I told you, I sketched out my daisy petals. I just made a little half circle for the eye of my daisy. See, the eye of my daisy right here. And then I sketched out those petals. And I'll do a quick demonstration at the end on plain paper so you can see what you're actually doing, because it's actually really, really hard to see it. All right, so we're going to get one of my favorite brushes here. Little round brush. See? Pretty. It's favorite. And then I'm just going to load up my white. That's a lot. And then I'm going to start filling in my petals. There's no rhyme or reason. You just fill it in. Now, I do leave just a little bit of a gap in between each petal. So that way you will know, hey, you know, this is the dividing of them. So you don't look like you have just like a solid white ring around the eye of your daisy. My sister likes daisies. I might... Her birthday's coming up. Okay, so I'm getting all of this. Just paint it in. Just very, very simple, very soothing. I'm going to put another little bit of white on these because they're already dry. And I don't need them dry for what I'm about to show you next. This is fun. This part. The shading and the adding of the gray part to it. It's a whole lot of fun. So there we go. I've got my petals painted in. See? Not hard, and I like it kind of choppy because again it gives it that kind of, you know, you can see it hanging in a beach house somewhere. Okay, so I've got a little bit of white, a little bit of black. So I'm going to scoop up some of that black and I'm going to mix it in with my white. And I'm just mixing it, not a lot. See, you still see a lot of white around there. That's going to help me here in a minute. And then I'm just going to clean that off, but I'm not necessarily going to wash it. I'm just going to wipe it off. And I'm going to get some of the white, some of the gray. Just kind of mix it up there. And then I'm going to just go around the edges of my petals just like that. See? And this one, let's see, get it a little dark up here. Okay. So you see what I've done? Okay, then I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm going to get back in my white, load up my white, and then I'm just going to, as technical as this sounds, I'm just going to work it around. See? And I actually kind of like that gray, that stark gray to it. So, you know, I kind of like that. See that one, and again on my apron. Mix, mix, mix. Mix it all around. And again, it's all in what you like, you know. I want this to be yours. Okay, so I've got all that. So I'm just gonna get the tip of my paintbrush black. And see, still a little tacky. But I'm gonna go in between my daisies. Just like that. Like that, to fill in that blank space, but also give each petal their definition. Like, hey, I'm somebody too. We may be growing out of the same stem, but I'm my own petal. Okay, so I'm just going around, just adding a little bit here and there. And then I'm going to go around that half circle. Right there. And then I'm gonna get a little bit of that green, that real pretty grass green that we made the stems with. And then, let's see, I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit. I'm just gonna do small little tiny strokes out from the eye of my daisy, just like that. And I want to turn it over a little bit. Okay, you see that? And this is a very forgiving painting because you can see it's all just kind of, you know, stroke here, stroke there. I look so comfortable, don't I? Actually, I am. I love to paint. Most of you know I'm not in any way, shape, or form educated in art. I didn't go to college for art, but I sure love it. Okay, so then I loaded up with just a little bit of black, and then I'm bringing that black in there. Again, just little bitty strokes. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to get just a little bit, and I loaded it up pretty good, and I flattened it out pretty good, because then I'm going to be like, hey, let's just bring up a stroke here and there. See, I got a little white on my brush, so I'm going to put a little more black on there. Okay, so there is the petals and the trim of your eye. See? Not so hard. And it's fun. And like I said, it's forgiving. Okay, so yeah, a goose back here. She's not been here long enough. She does not have any idea how we roll in the Hagen house. Okay, so the bottom part of the eye, I'm going to use our raw sienna. Go on now. And I'm just going to dab along the inside. Get a little closer. Just going to dab along the inside there. I love dabbing. Some of y'all know that. Okay, got a little dabbing going on there. And then I'm going to get just straight up orange. And then I'm going to dab more toward the middle. But I'm going to get down here a little bit on my brown sienna so it all looks mixed in and blended well. Because as we know in nature, rarely is it like one color. They blend. Okay, then I've got my medium yellow. And I'm just going to finish off the top. And I'm just, basically what I'm doing with this one is I'm really dabbing. And then, so I want a little more yellow. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to do that. Isn't that pretty? All right. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to clean this brush off real quick. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white on the tip. And I'm just going to go here, 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 here. Okay. Just fix that up. Okay. Then I just wiped my brush off. I didn't even clean it. Got a little bit of paint there. So what I'm going to do is, where I started my baby's breath, I'm going to come up, make it a little, like a little stem like that. And then take my brush again. This brush is pretty much, besides when you're doing the background, this brush is about the only one you'll need. I'm going to work it into my white like that. And then I'm just going to touch, touch, touch. We'll come down here. And there you got your baby's breath. Easy peasy. Okay, so we've got a daisy. We got some baby's breath. Now we're going to do our jar. So I just wiped off my brush. Again, I'm loading up on the black, but I'm flattening it out because, okay, so I'm going to come right here. Be a good spot. Come out and come around. Just like that. Okay, like that. Now this is gonna, since it's the front of the jar, you can just go right over your stems, okay? Then I'm gonna make the neck of my jar, and then my jar, okay? The neck of my jar, and then my jar. Okay. Very choppy looking, very weird. You're just like, what is that? Then we're gonna load up that brush again, flatten it out. This time we're gonna put white. So we're just gonna go here, here, wipe it off again because the little black got on there. Make a little line here, a little line there. Load it up again. We're going to come around here, back in here, and then make like little lines for your jar. And then down here, I'm going to come down with a little bit of white on the stems. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to get some sky blue. And then I'm going to go here and here, okay, and here. See, it's really scientific. Scientific. Again, me and my lovely words. It might be scientific. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just making little lines like that. I'm looking to see if there's anything else I need to discuss with you guys. I'm gonna put just like that, just easy peasy. So we've made our baby's breath. I stepped one daisy with you. Like I said, it doesn't have to look just like mine. I want it to look just like yours. So there we go. If you have any questions, like I said, while you're finishing it up, just send me a message. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you need a supply list, I'll be more than happy, but just the colors, this is 11 by 14 canvas. We use 2 paintbrushes, you know. You could even do this with colored pencils. So even if you don't have acrylic paint, but you got a sketchbook and your kids' Crayola colored pencils, wonderful, use them. You can do this with colored pencils. And in fact, if some of y'all wanted to do that, I would love to see this done in colored pencil. So thrill us at the library. Oh, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this, and there's going to be many more to come. And check out all the other videos that the other librarians are posting to our YouTube page. Please subscribe. We get 1,000 subscribers, we can go live, and we don't have to, video it and upload it and do all that. We can get it to you quicker. Like our Facebook page, and check out all the awesome that is coming your way very, very soon. Stay home, stay well, stay kind, and I love you. You're my peeps. Thank you. Good night.